Today is April 7th, 2026. This video is to talk about the number one place in Texas where people want to live, and that's Pearland, Texas. I was a resident of Pearland, Texas from June 2021 until November 2025. While I stayed there, the manager, Dana DuPont Holder, is the manager and probably currently the manager now. I don't know. I left in November. Who I was told back in June by several of her co-workers, and I'm going to tell you exactly what they stated. They said, watch her because she is a dirty bitch. It didn't bother me at the time, but I learned over the years what that exactly meant about Dana DuPont Holder, who is currently the manager at The Retreat at 2500 Business Center Drive, Pearland, Texas, 77584. My apartment number was 3110 in the third building on the first floor by the pool. Well, first thing I noticed about Dana DuPont Holder, who is, I guess, the employer of Greystar. I chose to live at The Retreat because I know I lived at a property in Marina Del Rey, California, that was managed by Greystar. So Greystar is supposed to have a nice reputation when it comes to their company. However, over at The Retreat, 2500 Business Center Drive, Pearland, Texas, Dana DuPont Holder proved Greystar's reputation wrong. First off, when I first moved in, it took her forever to give me the keys to the property. Finally, after she came out one day and said, oh, well, if you go get me a money order for, I think it was like $900, then I will give you the key to move in. And this is at over a month. So I went and got the money order from the HEB up the street, came back, gave them the money order. I then got a key to the apartment, 3110. I was traveling at the time for work, so I would leave from time to time to go to work. I would take money and put into my account for my monthly rent ahead of time. I kept noticing after a few months that every time I'd go and check on the money that I put into my account, it was missing. Well, I finally called the front office. I said, hey, I put some money on my account, but, all of these hundreds, close to thousands of dollars is missing. Dana DuPont Holder told me she took my money out to pay some bills. Now, from what I understand, my bills are my bills. So that's my rent, my electric, I think maybe the water, the trash, those are my bills. What gives you the right as a manager to go in to somebody else's account and steal their money out, never provide them a receipt, never ask for permission to take their money out, and never explain what bill? I guess because of my skin color, she felt that she could sit up here and just take my money and not provide any information. Okay, let's continue on down the road. At some point, I guess she wanted me to not live there. So from time to time, I would go and try to leave my door in, only to find my storage door, my garage door was broken into. Here I have to call the police. Hey, what's going on? Why is my door open? I called up to the office, talked to Dana DuPont Holder. Hey, why is my door open? Now, it didn't look like somebody had took a stick and broke into it. It looked like somebody took a key, opened it, and then left it open. Oh, okay. Numerous of times I would go outside again. There's trash hanging on my door. Trash put in front of my door, my garage door, my storage door, my front door. Okay, hey, call the front office. Can you tell me what's going on? Because all of this trash is over here and I did not put this trash here. Well, she was sent by somebody to come and pick the trash up. We got to a point where I went out of town for several months for my job. I come back, and the first thing I noticed was on my front door, the deadbolt entrance into the apartment had been pried away from the door because somebody had broken into the apartment. Well, there wasn't that much stuff in there in the first place, so they could have had all the fun they wanted to. When they walked in, you see their footprints because they had mud on their shoes. Walked from the front door all the way to the first bedroom, all the way over to my refrigerator where I had put food, my second refrigerator that I had extra food in. They took it and did something to it to where it no longer cooled off. Oh, okay. So all of my food in there, it was hundreds of dollars of food I had to throw away. Holding my breath, I had to throw it away because I had been gone for some months. I had 3 cars there. One car, when I noticed all of this unnecessary BS going on, I took my SUV, told my son to take it over to another location. And that's where my car sits still to this day. My PT Cruiser, I would go out. There would be notes on my car. There'd be threatful notes on my car. There would be where you notice somebody was trying to get into the car. Sometimes the door would be unlocked. Okay, so I took the car from the parking lot and I put it in front of the garage. That's why I parked it. Well, I noticed how, I go out one day. I got these rock chips in my windshield. Okay. All right. No problem. I take the car. I put it back where it was. I noticed more and more rock chips in the windshield. And then for that PT Cruiser, when the sun got hot, that rock chip then started to spread across the windshield. Okay. Finally, I took the PT Cruiser and I donated it to the Veterans Program for veterans who did not have cars. So that's where that car went. My SUV was at another location, so now I just have my white Xterra. My white Xterra had the factory alarm on it. Every time you look around, you hear my alarm going off. Hear my alarm going off. Why is this alarm going off on this car? It's not as sensitive an alarm, but my alarm is going off. I would go outside and I just felt like I was being watched. I was. I would be followed. I was being stalked. I was being harassed. Hey, what's going on with these people? What's going on? Like, who is this? Now, they ain't gonna come and show their face. They didn't come show their face because they wasn't that bad. They sit up and do stuff behind my back. You understand? Oh, okay. So every time I go out, I gotta change my routine. I try to go to the gym. I have MFers in their car following me. Oh, okay, no problem. Okay, so I changed my routine. I'll go out at this time. I'll go at a different time. I'll go over here instead of going over there. I was still being followed, still being watched, still being stalked. My car was still being harassed. Oh, okay, or damaged. So one day I said, and this was after, it was in November. I had gone to another state for one of my son's military graduation. I come back in October. In November, it was close to Thanksgiving. I hear my alarm going off. I'm supposed to go outside at 10 o'clock so I can go pick up my prescription from H-E-B. Well, I wasn't feeling good. God made me feel like, hey, go on and stay in the bed. You don't need to go outside. Why? Because they was outside slashing all 4 of my tires on my Xterra. Mind you, this Xterra is not bothering you. This Xterra has on the back that this is a military veteran. This license plate on this Xterra says disabled veteran. That would be me. That's who I am. A disabled military war veteran. That's who I am. Oh, okay. Why would you slash all 4 of my tires? So what I had to do was I had to go and get a different alarm. Went and got a different alarm. Went and got a remote start. Went and got cameras put on my car. Motion sensor cameras that if you walk by my car, the camera's going to catch you and videotape you. I would be in the house from time to time. Again, my alarm was going off. Why? I go out to try and see what was going on. I find pieces of my car laying on the ground. There was video cameras on the back and on the front of my car. So they was out there trying to snatch the video camera off, thinking I guess it was just glued on to my car, not knowing it was wired into my car. So you see it hanging, and it's still hanging still to this day. Hanging from my car. Pieces of where the lights hit my license plate. So you can read that it says disabled veteran on it. That was snatched off. Oh, okay. All right. So after they slashed my tires, I went and got a different alarm system. This time, I had different cameras, and I got that train horn put on my car because somebody heard my alarm going off. They went and got the same alarm. You know, I like to be different. You see, if I hear my car going off, I want to make sure it's my car if I got to step outside. Well, I went and got the train horn. One day, I'm sitting in the house. All of a sudden, that train horn go off, baby. I'm like, okay, let me go out here and see what's going on with my car. This time, it was the yard people that cut the grass, the Hispanic yard people. And both of them was walking away from my car when I came out. And they just looked at me as if, what, they was about to beat me down or something? I doubt it. Anyway, I go in, I call the office because I checked my windshield, I checked my car, pieces of my car again was broken off. The windshield had a rock chip in it now, so I go and I call the office. She disconnected, Dana DuPont Holder, disconnected my call and refused to answer my call. So, okay, so now I got to walk from building 3 all the way to the front of the property to let her know about my car being damaged. I go up there. She was like, oh, well, you could have just called me. Well, the bottom line is she saw me calling because she has caller ID on the phone. That's number 1. Number 2, these Hispanic people don't know me. They're the yard people. They come out there to cut the yard. Now, my car wasn't in front of the garage. It was parked on the road with everybody else's car. These yard people was out there pretending like they was air blowing stuff from by the car, but they was actually damaging my car because they were told by Dana DuPont Holder to damage my car. Okay, so I take my car, I move it over to the garage. That's why I left it. Time to time, here you go again. My alarm going off. You know, I'm like, why? Why are you continuing to harass a person who's not harassing you? The maintenance person. He would come and clean up in front of the apartments. He would skip my apartment to the point that it was so filthy outside. You know, before I would go outside because I didn't like nastiness, and because I worked COVID as a frontliner, I know how nasty people are. I want to make sure that I don't track anything into the apartment that had carpet in it. Well, I would go out there and I'd bleach it down. Well, one day I go up to talk to Dana DuPont Holder. She tells me, oh, well, you know, If you want to, you could just move and, I'll try and find you a different apartment and, I can put you somewhere where they can't find you. I'm like, what is she talking about? Oh, the other neighbor, all they said is that you go out there and you clean the front of the apartment with bleach. Why are you asking other people about me? Why? Same person that I'm about to tell you about that did something so dirty. Whew. Same resident. Okay, so this was before. In 2023, the same resident from 3103 walks by one day. Now I got cameras up now because I want to know who breaking into my doors. I want to know who putting all this trash over here. I want to see who over there messing with my car. You understand? So I got cameras up everywhere. She comes by, 3103 comes by, tries to get into my storage door. So when I got the video, I showed it to the police. I went to the front office, told Dana DuPont Holder that, hey, the police want me to know this resident name and what apartment she lived in. Dana DuPont Holder lied because she's a liar. Oh, boy. Is that fuck a liar, boy? That is a liar. She tells me that she lives in 3109. Actually, the lady living in 3103. Oh, okay. I didn't call the police back because I didn't feel Dana DuPont Holder was telling me the truth. Because she had been lying and doing some dirty shit even before all of this. So, there's no reason why anybody, anywhere, wherever I live, wherever I go, wherever I work, wherever I walk, wherever I talk, should harass me, say anything to me, because I don't give people that opportunity. Dana DuPont Holder lied and said that it was the lady living 3109. Okay. I didn't take a camera and I had to put it up facing down the hall. Let me tell you about this cleanup part first. There was a new lady that moved in, and within 2 weeks of her passing back and forth by my door to get to her apartment, she saw how nasty it was on the ground, not because of me, because the maintenance person refused to clean in front of my apartment. She went and got a broom, she swept, she then went and got a mop and some soap and water and cleaned it. I said, okay. A week or so later, I went and purchased a gift for this lady, went to her apartment, told her thank her because Dana DuPont Holder refused to clean in front of my apartment. Why? Because she's trying to make it bad for me to live there. That's that. She tried to get me to move one day by having the person in 3310, because I was 3110, the person on the third floor, she had some guy come in and bust the water pipe in the wall. That water pipe in that wall flooded the entire apartment of mine. Now, when I went upstairs, for the first time ever, I went upstairs, knocked on a resident door and said, hey, is your apartment flooding? And this is on the second floor. God told me, no ma'am, it's not flooding at all. I don't have any water. I don't even hear any water. Really? So the only apartment that flooded turns out to be my apartment. I lost everything. My daughter lost everything. The smell, because it was a water pipe for the fire department to come in and put out fires, and they have a special chemical in that water that is so nasty and so funky that it is hard to breathe. Well, when I didn't move from that part, I think it was maybe, I don't know, a year before or maybe a year after, there was a guy came and he sat at the pool, and he sat there for over an hour. Then all of a sudden, he supposedly blew his head off sitting at the pool. Nobody knew who he was. Nobody knew supposedly why. To me, it just felt like it was not a true situation. Because I've seen a lot of situations where people will make up stuff and lie, like Dana DuPont Holder, and say this and say that, but it's not the truth. For my apartment to be flooded, each resident's supposed to have, what do you call that insurance? Renter's insurance. Oh, I got my renter's insurance. I always had it. Thank God. So when I went to the front office, asked Dana DuPont Holder, I need the information for the insurance for the people who bust this pipe and made me lose everything in my apartment. Dana lied and said, oh, okay, I'll get that information for you. You know, months went by. Months. And I never got that information. So I had to go back to the office, tell Dana DuPont Holder, hey, I need this insurance information. My insurance company is asking for this information. Dana DuPont Holder told me, well, you know, you can file 2 claims. You can file with your insurance, and then you can file with the other renter's insurance. Really? So I guess she thought she was talking to a sucker who don't know anything. That is falsifying information and can lead you thrown up under the jail. She didn't know who she was talking to. I'm going to tell you who she was talking to in a minute. Anyway, so that was that part. Excuse me. I didn't move. Man blew his head off. I didn't move. All the trash and all my doors being broken into. I didn't move. Then she had all of these strange, unknown people constantly coming by my front door, constantly, harassing me, constantly looking at my cameras, calling me all kind of names, blowing their weed smoke in my video cameras. She had one young man. Now there's 2 fireboxes on the row where I lived on the floor. 2. This young man came from that end. He passed up the first one to come to the second one that's directly away from my door, where the video cameras are, to put a bag of drugs into it early in the morning. He then, when he got out of school, came back and took it out of there. Oh, okay. No problem. I go to the front office, maybe weeks later. Hey, Dana, this person appears to be putting drugs into this fire box. Well, I guess it only pissed her off because I guess she thought that was supposed to make me run and move. Didn't touch me. Next, she had all of these different girls. This one girl with red hair. She would come by my video cameras looking at my door, like she trying to see how to break in and, all of this unnecessary BS. She would then sit up and play with her vagina in front of the video cameras. Really? Go to the front. Hey, Dana. This person right here keeps walking by my cameras, so I would need you to talk to her and let her know to stop. You understand? Oh, okay. So that's that. Then these other girls will come by my door. They stalking, looking at my door like they want to break in, trying to see how they was going to get in to my door. One day, I go outside. My storage door was open again. Oh, boy. Here we go again. Lord Jesus. I said, all right. I'm going to put a camera up, another camera, and call the police. When the police officer came out, Officer Vogt, he came to the front door and he immediately asked me, is this the door that you're talking about? Now, this is the first time he came out. I said, no, I'm talking about my storage door around the corner. He said, well, what happened to this door right here, which is my front door? I said, well, somebody broke into my door when I was gone. And when I told the front office, they said that they was going to fix it, but it's been over a year and she still hasn't fixed it. He said, well, no, this is not right. I need you to go to the front office, let them know that you want this fixed immediately because this is not right, because the deadbolt was detached from the door. I tried to take some black paint, whatever that was, that you can seal up holes with and put it on there. It didn't work. So, excuse me. I go to the front office. Hey, Dana. Police officer said that my front door needs to be fixed. It took her months. When she said she was going to do it the next day, it took months before they had to be called again, and they came and put this silver bar down the side of the door. So she was saying if somebody wanted to break into it, they couldn't put like a knife or a latch or something, whatever, in it to pop the door open. But you leave the deadbolt still hanging from the door. Deadbolt, the silver bar. Okay, no problem. Well, one day, there was this young boy and this young girl come by from out of the blue. When they get to my storage door camera, so you got to come around the corner. Storage door camera, when you hit this corner, it's my front door cameras. You hit that other corner back there, that's my back door cameras. Well, they come through. They want to be hooping and hollering and screaming and cursing and pretending like they were fighting. I don't know if that was supposed to like make me feel like, oh my God, they're over here fighting. I'm going to just jump up and move. Each time I had talked to Dana DuPont Holder about the issues, about my storage doors being broken into, trash being left, not being clean in front of my door, you understand, slashing my tires on my car, setting off my alarm. You know, one of the neighbors where my car was sitting right here and she lived up here, every day she's throwing fucking coffee down on my car. For what? Do I know you, lady? Do you know me? The guy stalking me. I found out where he finally lived at. He over here stalking me. Every time I come outside, he watching, then he come, because my car used to be parked on the front row while the rest of the cars were. Well, every time I go out there to get in my car, here this motherfucker come. Really? What you running out here for? As if I need to look at you. I don't. I really, truly don't. Well, that goes by. These people, these girls walking by my door, looking all time of night, all time of day, trying to see, I guess, if I was finna open my door, if I was finna come outside, you know, how they can break into the door. The neighbors next door in 3109, which was a registered nurse. Would you believe that? A young registered nurse. All right, so this person was told to harass me so I can jump up and leave. Oh, okay. Because, you know, I guess I must have that look on my face that I'm scary. I must do. Well, months go by. A whole year go over and over. Just constant harassment. One day, the hoe in 3103, she was walking by all the time. Every time I get a package, she calling somebody on the phone, telling them, hey, oh, she got a package, you understand? So then, you know, she walking by my door, looking at my door. She walking by my door, acting like she bad, like she about to beat somebody up. Okay, all on video. Well, same one. Tried to break into the storage door on video. Okay, well, this one day, this guy, I was laying in the bed, wasn't feeling good. Because again, I'm disabled. My alarms on my video cameras kept going off. I said, okay, let me just take a look and see. Well, I take a look and see there's this man's face right in my camera. I'm like, who the hell is this? He was trying to break into the front door. So at that time, you know, I called the police, let the police know this person he was still on property when the police came. So 3109 had him hid in their apartment, where 3103 was the one who called him out and told him, and this is what she told him a week before, because I had to go back and look at all my videos that I had recorded. On this video, this hoe passed by my storage door camera and looks at it while she's on the phone with this guy on speakerphone. So you can hear his voice. You can hear what she's saying and he's saying. As she walked by, she says, well, if you come on Friday, you know, I think Friday, you know, is a good time for you to come by in the morning. Oh, okay, so that was the first statement she made. But as soon as she passed by that storage door camera, that was by the front door camera. When she passed by that storage door camera, this is what she said. I hope you shoot this bitch. Uh-oh. That's what she said. And so she told him that a week before. He came on that Friday, I think, which is March 1st, to try to break in. Had to call the police. I had to go back and look at these video cameras. I called the police again because not only did this person try to come and break into my door, he don't know me. I don't know him. You understand? This lady in 3103 who called him over, I don't know her. You understand? I've never had words with anybody. Well, come to find out, 3103 called this man over. 3109 took the man and hid him in their apartment. Well, 2 weeks go by. Every single day, this man was coming on that hallway and going to 3109. Really? 3103 called him. So I'm trying to figure out, how is 3103 and 3109, how are they related? What do they know? You know what I mean? Do they know each other? You know, did they set this up? You know, why are they doing this? So that's 3103, 3109. 3102, who had just recently moved over there and was a correctional officer, and his family sat there and watched whoever it was slice off 4 of my tires on my car. And then when the police came, they stood outside on the patio door to listen to see what I was saying to the police and what the police was saying. That's 3102. 3108, right down the hallway as well. He would come 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And instead of him just going to his apartment, because, you know, it's late at night, you know, noise law states that after 9 or 10 o'clock in some places, there should not be any loud noise. Well, this man will come and just bust out yelling and screaming. Really? Oh, okay. Throughout the time. So, you know, I got cameras. I don't need to open my mouth and say anything, not too much. You just sit back and watch a person. You can tell what they're doing, what their next move is, and who did what. Okay. One day, ambulance came by, police came by. They had old boy on the stretcher. As they passed my camera, the officer or the EMS asked, I got to go back and look at the video. They said, "Hey, Jesus, what did you take?" He was like, They said, "Well, you know, we had to Narcan you 3 times. 3? Not 1, not 2, 3 times. He was on there selling drugs. Oh, okay. He then got so bad, he would bring guys by my front door. These strange drug dealing looking thugs by my front door, by my storage door, by my back door, tell them that I have video cameras up. They was trying to figure out a way how they was going to break into my doors. This is 3108. Okay. Well, 3102 moved out after she found out something after about my tires being cut. Oh, okay, no problem. And I knew she had found out because the courtesy officer, Kenneth Rooks, that was the courtesy officer when I moved into the retreat, was stalking me, was watching me, was refusing to answer the calls for, you know, me calling for noise or for anything. He would refuse. I called for over 2 years straight about noise. He would lie and say, "Oh, well, yeah, I went upstairs and talked to the resident, told them, you know, they was, you know, not to make noise. And, you know, they said that their kid was just sitting down, just playing, you know, that he wasn't making noise." So time after time after time, again, I said, "Hey, courtesy officer, if in fact you want to know what noise the neighbors were making right above my head in the bedroom where I sleep, all you have to do is come to my front door and listen to the videos I have recorded." Did that man ever show? Never. One night, the same courtesy officer who looked like he works for Harris County because his uniform was not HPD and it wasn't Pearland Police Department uniform. He come walking on the hallway one night, late at night. He then goes over to 3103's door. He knocks on the door. 3103 opens the door, lets him in. Normally, if a police officer is called to the scene, they will knock on your door and identify themselves as a police officer. Now, when I went to the front office and I asked, I said, hey, Dana, I said, is the courtesy officer related to 3103? Oh, no. He went over there to, about the noise, because... Really? So if he went to her apartment 11, almost midnight, about some noise that was called in supposedly, why is it that he's never come to my apartment when I called in about noise for at least 2 years straight? Not one visit. Oh, okay. So you sit back here, you watch. All right. From then, the 3310 person who had flooded my apartment to try to get me to move, apparently they moved out because they didn't have no renter's insurance. My insurance company never got paid for this damage that was done to everything in my apartment from this company. So one day they were gone because I didn't see the car out there. I know what kind of car he had, I was one morning, ouch, I went out, get me to go to something on my arm, go to the gym, and this person, 3310, was out there pretending like somebody had bust the windows out of his car. He ain't had nothing in the car, so I just looked at it. I sat there for a minute. I said, man, now if in fact somebody was breaking into cars, the first car they would have broken into would have been mine. It would have been mine. Because if you knew what I had in my car, it would have been mine. Well, that was the setup for that. Well, this 3310, he had moved out. And there was another couple that moved in. Well, this couple, here we go again. Dana DuPont Holder. Because these people have never seen me. Have never see me, don't know who I am, who I was, what I do, none of that. Well, all of a sudden, because I got cameras up on the storage door, every time they pass by, they telling their little girl to hit the camera, to hit the door, try to get in the door. Not one, not two, not three, not 4, 5 different times. I called the police. Had the police each and every time. Well, that was a time where, Dana DuPont Holder would lie to the police, Pearland Police Department. I don't know what she was telling these people. But if a person is calling you and telling you that they have on video someone that is doing some criminal things, your job as a police officer is to go and either arrest that person, detain that person, ask questions, investigate. That's what your job is as a police officer. I would call time and time again. I would get talked to, like some of these officers, like a pure dog. Dana DuPont Holder let it slip one day when I went to go talk to her. Oh yeah, Pearland Police, they come and talk to me every time you call. Not that I care, but okay. So that just says that you were basically up here lying. That's the reason why these officers are sitting up here talking to me crazy, acting like they can't do their job. To the point where I had to go and write a complaint, take it to internal affairs at the Pearland Police Department. I had to go and call on one of the city council members that I know personally and ask for assistance as to why Pearland Police Department is not doing their job. The fact that I showed Pearland Police the video of this lady in 3103 telling this man, I hope you shoot this bitch. This man who has never seen me, I had never seen him before. He doesn't know how I look. He don't know how my daughter look. If he was to break in my apartment to shoot, to kill me and my daughter, he wouldn't know which one it was. He would not have. He would not have known. So you're sending somebody over to do harm to someone, and Pearland Police refuse? They refuse. After watching the video, after hearing the video, after seeing the video, to make an arrest? Why? Because of Dana DuPont Holder trying to make it specifically uncomfortable for me to live in that apartment. Not sure why. Not sure why. So I could jump up and run and move. All it did was make me feel like I needed to go back down in the trenches looking for Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden. I would be stopped by the courtesy officer. I would have stuff put on my car by the courtesy officer, which was not supposed to be done. There had been a green-looking, nasty old car sitting back there in the back of the property. Even before I moved there, that car had been sitting there for so long. Nobody moved that car. It never moved. One day I went out maybe like a year later, and they had, maybe 2 years later, and they had put up a visor in the windshield. And it had Powell, Powell, on that visor. That's why it caught my attention. Okay, somebody went out here, so it's somebody's car that lives here, but they don't ever move the car. There was not ever, any paper on that car, no notes, none of that. None of that, no tow trucks, none of that. But yet I was being harassed. I've had so much done. She refused to fix the washing machine. The refrigerator had caught on fire in the apartment. Yes. She refused to fix the refrigerator or to replace that refrigerator. It had gone out several times when I wasn't there, because I'll take off, go leave, be gone for over a week or so. I come back, maybe over a month or so. I come back, the refrigerator's not working. All my food is messed up. All my insulin and my medication is destroyed. So now I got to throw all of this away and try to replace it. She never replaced the refrigerator, never replaced the washer and dryer. The washing machine it had become so rusty that when the maintenance guy came in one day, he looked at it, he said, oh no. He said, this is not good. Really? Okay, but that's how it's been for over a year. For it to be that rusty, it was like that probably when I moved in there. I just didn't see it. So after a couple months go by, maintenance person comes in with another washing machine. It wasn't brand new. It was one probably where somebody had moved out of their apartment, and they took that one and brought it down and put it in that apartment. The doors on the drawers were falling off. On the cabinets, they were falling off. I had a new neighbor and moved out of 3109 because the previous registered nurse, I guess she became extremely afraid and scared after her job notified her, and the state board notified her of the issues that she is causing by harboring a fugitive who was told to shoot to kill me and my daughter in their apartment. Every day, that man would come by and visit 3109. He would come by, then he would come by. One day he said, oh, it's good to be, what did he say? A drag? Okay, that's what he said. It's good to be a drag. really. So I'm looking at the videos. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? You understand? Why is he keep? Because I got to watch the videos. I got to watch my door. Because I'm ready when you're ready. I'm ready. I'm down in the trenches. You understand? So I look on my video one day. Here he come by as a wide back female. All right, I'm going to say that again. A wide back female. So now I said, oh, that's what he meant about it's good to be drag. Oh, but only every day for weeks. He would come by, he was laughing, he was looking at the door. The neighbor, that 3109 registered nurse, had to tell him from time to time, come on, just keep walking. Don't do that. Now, why you want to do that? Don't look over there. Because he's looking at my door, acting like he want to break into it. But now you coming as a drag. Really? And what's so bad about it? Everything I'm saying is on video. I don't need to add nothing to it. I don't need to take away nothing from it. Everything I am saying is on video. Dana DuPont Holder, lying all the time, is on video. She didn't know who she was messing with. She didn't. She really, truly did. Well, let's see. This 3103 person and 3102. It was 3102 first, then 3103 moved. No, 3109, then 3103 moved. Because this is what they got. When they got to the point where Pearland Police Department was refusing to do anything about this lady telling this man, I hope you shoot this bitch. And I had to go and make a complaint down at Internal Affairs. When I made my complaint, I finally had to open my mouth and say, I am not only a disabled military war veteran, I am a 30+ year police officer wife. Well, that information got around real quick. 3102 moved expeditiously. They moved right across on the building on the other side of the pool. 3109, I don't know where she went. That rich nurse, I don't know. She went somewhere. Don't know. But I don't know if it was still in the building. I don't know. I didn't see her anymore. 3103 then moved from where she was on this row all the way down to the end. So there's a building facing this way. This is where the building she was at. She ended up being in this building right here. Still coming by my door when I got packages from Amazon, looking to see what it was, as if she was going to come and steal it. She called another guy one day. I got an Amazon package. Told the man I had a package, had the man come over there like he was finna come and steal it. But how dumb he is that he didn't see that video cameras on that door before he turned that corner. It's big as day. My camera still caught you. Dana DuPont Holder would have the maintenance man standing back away from a camera taking pictures of my front door. For what? For what? See, we had a trash man. This little gay guy. Oh, he would come with an attitude, baby, and he was taking pictures. For what? Your job is to pick up trash and go on about your business. That's your job. Pick up trash. It ain't like it's excessive trash. It's just trash. It got to the point where Dana DuPont Holder, after, I got my apartment flooded, she would have people coming through, checking my trash. Really? I got the audacity to come out here and check people's trash at the front door. For what? What you looking for? You think you gonna find some in that trash? You gonna find this trash. That's what you find in trash. Trash. She'd had these little young girls. They would get in that car, they would follow me, they would see me leaving. They would get in that car and they would follow me, run up on my car. Mind you, I have video cameras on my car. I had to go and put all of that on my car. I missed many nights of sleep because I'm still waiting for this man to come over and quote unquote shoot this bitch. That's what I'm waiting for. All I want to know is why. The only reason why is because Dana DuPont Holder did not want me living there. Now, did she know I was a police officer wife and she made all of these things inconvenient for me to live there and didn't want me to live there? I don't know. There was one day where I didn't have a camera on my garage door where my car was sitting. Numerous occasions, my car alarm would go off. Numerous occasions, I'd go out and find a piece damaged on my car. Numerous occasions, I'd go out and find all this nasty liquid brown shit on my car. Numerous occasions, I'd go out and find damaged dents in my car. Okay. I go out. I'm trying to figure out why is my video camera's not working on my car. Because they went out there to damage my car, damage the video camera. Oh boy. So I said, okay, let me get up real early in the morning because, they got to go to sleep sometime. I go out there, put a video camera up on the garage. And it was there for a minute. Well, here come that same lawn, what you call them people? The people who cut the grass. What you call them? The lawn people. Well, no, they're not maintenance. It's lawn people. Lawn people, the ones that cut the grass. And same Hispanic guys. Same two Hispanic guys. Well, a month before, I had went to, what do you call that? What's that tire place? The one over there in Pearland. Goodyear. And they know my cars. They know me. The guy come out, one of the guys, and say, hey, what happened to the front end of your car? What are you talking about? Stop playing with me. He said, no, somebody didn't hit your car. What you talking about? I get out my car. I go look. The front end of my car was hanging off. I said, I'll be damned. I didn't hear the alarm go off. I didn't see it. Somebody else told me about it. I had to pay over $2,000 out of pocket to get that fixed. Okay. This is before the video camera. Okay. And then, at the time of getting my car fixed, I had to get a rental car. So I had a rental car sitting out there until my car was fixed. I get ready to go turn the rental car in. Somebody had taken a rock. Because I saw the rock when I came out of the garage. Because I stepped on it. It was a big rock. Somebody took a rock, threw it at the windshield, put a hole in the windshield. Well, I had went somewhere, and when I came out of that building, the line, because of the heat, the line had went across the front windshield. I said, I'll be damned. Where I was at, because it didn't dawn on me that rock from where my garage was the reason why that line was in the windshield. So I called the police from where I was. Police came and looked at it. They said, well, ma'am, looked like somebody had a windshield chip in your windshield. And from the heat, that's where this line come from. I said, so you mean to tell me somebody damaged the car and put a hole or something in the windshield? He was like, yes, ma'am. Oh, okay. So I said, okay, let me think. I go, leave that place. Go to take the car back the next morning. I get out of the car, the rental car, to take it back because of that crack in the windshield. When I turn around to look at the car to lock it, on the front end of the car, on both sides of the bumper, somebody had backed into the car and dented the car in. At the apartment. Oh, okay. Now, I'm about to go and put a camera up. Let me put this camera up. I go out there, I'll put the camera up. One day, lawn man out there. All right. I hear my alarm go off. I said, well, let me just take a look at this camera and see what's going on. Because, I'm thinking, oh, they blowing just the leaves and stuff. Okay. I look at the camera and see this lawn man, this Hispanic male, taking his equipment that he's using to blow the grass and stuff away from the car, which he was not supposed to be over there. There's no grass. It's all concrete by the garage. He takes it and he hits the front end of my car. Same place it was before when Goodyear told me the front end of my car was hanging off. And I had just had it fixed. Over $2,000, remember? Really? Okay. So it took me a minute to go to the front office. I called the police. Just so happens Officer Vo was the same officer that came out for that call. And I told him about my car. I showed him the video. I showed him my car. And he was like, okay, we're going to go to the front office and report it. We went to the front office and reported. I said, I don't know what you're going to the front office to report it for. Dana DuPont Holder's not going to do anything about it. She's the reason why these people is harassing me. Well, Dana DuPont Holder wasn't there that day. But when I went back to show her the video on a different day, she stood there looking at me like I smelled like, like I had been at Whataburger. Not Whataburger, what is it? Burger King. Burger King usually smell like onions. So that's how she was looking at me. All right. So as I'm talking to her, letting her know what's been going on, she didn't say, well, if you're having all these problems, why don't you just move? This is like the 50th time she said that to me. But she had a real nasty attitude with it by that time. By that time, because she had found out, I told the police, Pearland Police, that I'm a police officer wife and I expect for y'all to do y'all job. They went back up there and told her, because you say, I don't tell people my business. You got to keep it quiet. Keep it to yourself. You understand? You can't tell everything that you know. Well, by that time, she was pissed off. You understand? She found out I had camera on the outside of the garage. The neighbor that was pouring whatever she was pouring on my car and having her kids, her little step kids that she had over to her apartment that she was abusing. She had them running into the car, hitting the car with stuff so the alarm would go off so she could see if the alarm was going to go off. Well, I think the same Hispanic blonde man is a man she was dating, this neighbor. You understand? So one day the kids was outside again. One of the girls yelled, it's a camera right there. It's on video. And then she said, what? She said, it's a camera right there. 30 days later, that neighbor moved. Okay. All right. So that's like some of the stuff, that's been going on at 2500 Business Center Drive at the retreat. We're supposed to be a place where everybody feels is the number one place that they want to live. I was paying over $2,000 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. It's not even considered a 2-bedroom apartment. It's considered a 1-bedroom with an office and 1 bathroom. Let me tell you about that bathroom, baby. One day, they was upstairs, and I knew they did it. I know they did it. They was upstairs working on an apartment above me. Never, since I lived there, has my toilet been stopped up. Well, it ended up stopped up after they worked on that apartment upstairs. I flushed the toilet was over flooding. I said, dang, I couldn't unplunge it. I couldn't do none of that. Let me go on, put in a maintenance request for them to come and fix it. I called because if you call the retreat, it'll tell you if your AC is not working, if your toilet is not working, or if it was a flood or something going on, that it's an emergency, to call and someone will be out. I called that morning about 6 o'clock in the morning for that toilet. I think it was about maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon after I went back to the front office and got chewed out by Dana DuPont Holder telling me that the toilet being stopped up was not an emergency. And number two, just because one of my toilets is stopped up don't mean that it's an emergency and that I can use the other toilet. I just want to know where she want me to pull that other toilet from. Did she expect me to bend over and pull that toilet out of my ass? Because I did say it's a 2-bedroom apartment with 1 bathroom. And when I had to tell her there's only 1 bathroom in the apartment, oh, well, we'll send somebody over to fix it. So after she pulled up the, what do you call those? The floor plans for the type of apartment I had. She pulled up the floor plans to look to see if I was lying about, it being only 1 toilet in there. Mind you, a disabled military war veteran. Never missed a rent payment. Every time you go up on the rent, it's paid. I stopped putting money in the account because she was stealing it. Why can't you fix the things that you are required to fix? She was telling her workers to go and lie to all of these people. They come in to see apartments, that it's a luxury apartment, and you have all of these luxuries. You have Sam's Club across the street and Costco down the road. Is that luxury? Did you see that washer and dryer? What about the refrigerator? Do you hear? As a matter of fact, you ain't even got to look at it. Just listen. You can hear it. Why is the refrigerator making a noise? You smell it? The refrigerator burner? Oh, okay. But this is luxury. For a person paying over $2,000 a month for rent. Well, for the person who moved into 3310, when I went to the front office and told Dana DuPont Holder that I was being harassed, Dana DuPont Holder lied to Pearland Police, told them whatever lie she told them. Basically I wasn't being harassed. There was a police officer that came out one day, when the daddy of this daughter took his hand and hit my camera. Oh, okay. So when you hit somebody's property, personal property, to try to damage it, that's intentional. Because you see, this camera, when you walk by it 5 million times a day, it's not bothering you. It don't touch you. It don't talk to you. It don't even look at you until you walk by and that camera comes on. It ain't looking at you. It's looking at what's in the vicinity of where it's at. But you come by and you hit that camera. I call the Pearland Police Department. This officer come out with another officer. I said, well, this is the 5th time I've called. I'm being harassed. I expect for you guys to go and, do something about this situation. This officer told me, well, I don't see no damage on your camera, so there's no crime. Huh? I said, excuse me, sir. This is not the 1st, not the 2nd, not the 3rd, not the 4th, but the 5th time I've called about this exact situation, and you mean to tell me that I'm not being harassed, that there's no crime? I said, you know what? Because I didn't want to argue with him. I said, well, just give me the call number, the report number, whatever it was, because he said he wasn't going to do anything because it wasn't a crime. I said, well, there's a call number that you could give me to document the fact that I called on this situation. He told me no. And he walked away with an attitude. Oh, I said, okay, officer. Since you don't want to do your job, I said, I hope you know you on video. And I will be down to internal affairs again. I go to my door. I close the door. I go to the bathroom. I hear a knock on the door. Who was it? This police officer to give me that report number that he was supposed to give me in the first place. Now, I'm not going to say Pearland Police Department officers are bad, because there have been some good officers who did their job, and there have been a few who you just have to question. Let me see your T close. Huh? They got you as an officer? Huh? Really? Oh, okay. Not all officers are bad. But there was a few that I believe were in on the fact that they were harassing me to try to get me to move. Because see, let me tell you, when I moved out in November of last year, September is when this lawman damaged my car again. I went in September, reported it. Now remember, Dana DuPont Holder was supposed to pay me for my windshield on my car, for my PT Cruiser. She never paid. She was supposed to pay me on my Xterra. She never paid. She gave all these excuses about, oh, well, we're going to pay this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. She never paid. Still to this day. Today is April 7, 2026. She had not paid to replace my windshield that was damaged by that same Hispanic lawman that had damaged the front end of my car and other parts of my car. To the point that I had cameras on the back of my car. One day, I guess they thought they was just going to go pull that camera off and it was just going to pop off. Fools! It's wired into the car. Well, there was one time I went to the office talking to Dana DuPont Holder. She up there acting like she all scared that I'm up there talking to her. She called the police. She's supposed to be calling the police to ask for the report about this harassment and all these phone calls that I have made to Pearland Police Department. It's been over 100. It's been over 100 because I've been harassed for years. She was supposed to be calling about that report. All I could hear on the phone saying, yes, yes. So basically, she was lying to the Pearland Police Department, saying that she needed a police officer out there to come and assist her. Well, Pearland Police sent the officer out there. He drove it to the parking lot of the retreat. And I'm sitting in front of Dana DuPont Holder. And you look out the window and you see the entrance of the property. 2500 Business in the Drive. Police officer comes and pulls his SUV and he sits there. I look at Dana. I say, hey, your officer outside. That's what I said. Here she go. Oh no, they just sit there and they just do, surveillance for the property, to give tickets out, because they're watching the traffic. Really? Huh? How he gonna watch the traffic if he facing this way? Traffic is that way. How you doing traffic? Okay. There's been so much here, I can't think of everything. But I want the world to hear what has been going on over at 2500 Business in the Drive. The main thing I want the world to know is about Pearland Police Department not doing their job when I told them and showed them and proved to them. Because, you ain't got to do nothing for a video. You just sit there and look at the video and you come up with what happened just by looking at the video. And the sounds from the video, if you just listen and you hear this lady saying, I hope you shoot this bitch. Man came over. He came over to do it because he had his little bag on the front like he had a gun in it. A disabled military war veteran. Okay. I'm going to let this video end right here because then I had to go do another video about my spouse, who I really truly feel had a lot to do with these unknown people harassing me because I left him. I'm gonna end this video right here.